Hi, it's John. I wanted to talk a little bit today about abundance and addiction to fear and lack. And one big example that we're all going through right now is the world economy and the changes that are going on. And it's really, really interesting because part of us is just letting go of like an old paradigm. This way, Patch. We turn around. Come on, boy. Yeah, as I turn around, letting go of an old paradigm which doesn't serve us, and with an opportunity to rebuild something new. And what's really beautiful about the transition process is that we're able to really feel into the gratitude for what we do have. And so I definitely feel through my life changes, like I've moved house, we've moved to a smaller house, I've reduced my working hours, and I'm so grateful now for everything I have in my life, every person, every source of abundance, whether it's money or whether it's material objects or whether it's time and energy. And it's so important to be conscious of it all. I have been doing things like small things like I've been conscious about the money we've been spending on electricity and heating, and so I've been doing a bit of research on YouTube, just finding out, well, I do feel abundant in terms of money and heating, and I'm just increasing my awareness. So when I have the thermostat on our heating system on, I just make sure it's at a temperature that works best for us, like 19-20 degrees C. And then there's also things like light bulbs. Sometimes my kids like having their light on all night, and so we've just swapped them out, invested in some LED bulbs instead, which are just a fraction of the percentage of energy. And it's funny because I don't do these things out of fear, I do them out of gratitude and appreciation and conscious consumption. One thing that the last couple of years of traveling in most weekends in our motorhome has taught me is the amount I consume, whether it's water, food, energy like gas, like propane, or electricity, and space and everything, and that's been and even human waste. And it's really cool because you get a real appreciation. Oh, look at these eyes on the tree. It's really cool because you get this great appreciation of all the things you think you need, and then all the things you really need to survive. And I've even done things like stayed off grid by myself for 4 days or so, with using as little power as possible. It's like a kind of fasting from the consumption of all these different things, and I had a very small amount of food, just some tins, small amount of electricity to cook or to heat or to make toast, but plenty of time. And it was really funny because during those 4 days I just learned, this is amazing, I have so much energy. I did loads of live streams, I wrote loads of songs, I just felt abundant. And it's also fascinating to me that the more we buy, the more that owns us, the more material objects we have, the more that owns us, the more that requires our attention, our maintenance. And it doesn't matter if you put it away in storage or you hide it in a cupboard, it's still there. You're still energetically tied to it. So yeah, also there's a lot of fear going around in the collective about, oh, what are the changes going to mean for me? I can't afford so many things. And my heart goes out to everyone that is struggling through these times and has fear and has genuine, real life problems with food and heating and concerns. And I feel like there will be opportunities for me. My neighbor's heating broke, and so I have a couple of they're all filled electric radiators, and so we just said, I took one out of my studio, so my studio is quite a lot colder, but I just gave them to this family because it's like, you need that heat. your boiler's broken. It's getting cold here, so yeah, it's really going to help you. And I thought that was a really useful thing for me to do, and it really cost me nothing. And actually, of course, as the universe would have it, my studio's been absolutely fine. It's not been too cold, and it seems like a very first world problem to have of, oh, my studio's a little bit too cold. I'm sure I'll cope. And yeah, I feel like the way that we can continue to help each other is by focusing on the positives and the abundance. Like, there is more than enough of everything in this planet for everyone's need, but never enough for even one person's greed. And so that's a really beautiful, conscious way of thinking, is that what do I really need? Really, I have more than enough for what I need. And how can I help others when they don't have enough for what they need? And checking in on greed, right? We all have it. I still have it. And for instance, like, I would just naturally, if I earned some money, if I had a little bit extra money in a month, I'd buy something. And it would be my first thing to do. I'd always want to buy something. And now I do a lot more like online window shopping. So I just, like, if it's an item that I just want to, that I think I really want, but don't think I need it, or need it right now, I'll just put it in like my basket on that well-known e-commerce shopping website, or I'll just say no for now and just have a think about it for a couple of days. Because if it's just something I want, it doesn't really matter if I need to wait. And having a much smaller home is really good for me, because it makes me question, like, where would I put it? And constantly I'm still trying to purge material items, and we're giving a lot to charity. Still, we passed over 23 carloads of stuff to others. So yeah, that's a really useful practice as well. And there's loads of different research we can do. Like, I think for all the time that it's tempting to be drawn into the feeling of lack and fear, it's really good to just focus on, like, what do I need to educate myself about? Like, what's the best way of saving money, maximizing, optimizing the use of money for electricity, for gas? What's the best mortgage deal I can get? We've been doing things like going through all our monthly bills and checking, like, what do we really need? What no longer serves us? Some things, like, I know I pay quite a lot of money for the YouTube premium version, and it's just like, that's quite a lot of money, and you can pause it for a few months. So I'm going to pause it for like 3 months, and then just see if I really need it. So yeah, that'll be cool. And do I really need it? Of course I don't need it, but do I really want it? And is it really value for money? Well, let's wait and find out. So yeah, I hope this video helps, and I do feel a sense of excitement about the changes in the world, that people are becoming more conscious with their consumption, and getting closer. As we become more conscious, we come closer to this planet and closer to each other, helping each other, and that can only be a helpful thing. So I hope this finds you well. Sending my love from Scotland. I love you.